Hey my sugar bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, Nicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sheree said, who's gonna check me, boo? Welcome, Black y'all. Let's get into this Instagram scroll. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a playlist for the SWV Xscape Queens of R&B saga drama real life shit that's going on right now, because there's so many different clips, there's so many different people. Like, it's sort of been like there's been a reality show to the reality show in terms of like what's been happening and going on between the group and just other different people in the industry in real time while the show is airing on Bravo. So I'm just gonna, create me a playlist, pull up some clips, and do what I do and give my opinion about different things because listen, it's a lot. So first off, let's talk about the part that has to do. Okay, so if you're not aware, so Queens of R&B is a reality TV show right now that's being aired on Bravo. I think it's a 6-part series, 1 hour show, and it features the platinum selling R&B groups Xscape and SWV. SWV is from them people's New York, out of them people's Brooklyn, out of them people's Bronx. And then Xscape is out of them people's College Park, Atlanta, Georgia, right? So South versus, North versus South, whatever you want to say, right? So we have this going on. And if you weren't off the porch in the 90s, I was a little bit off the porch. I was around. That's my favorite music era. That's where I feel like I came of age, okay? So these was the groups of those days, right? In terms of like what was hot in R&B, Xscape and SWV. I am a fan of every single last one of these women. I have critiqued individually about some things about some of these women, but that's not to say that I'm not a fan, because believe me, you couldn't tell me at times when I was a little chubby girl I didn't feel and love me some Latasha, right? You couldn't tell me Coco wasn't the flyest dark skinned woman I had ever seen before in the 90s, okay? Like, real talk. So for me, I've always loved these girls. I think I probably even gravitate more towards the SWV because they're from up north. They were just fly girls, right? Like, when you think about like the 90s and you're thinking about what is it, In Living Color, right? And they used to have the fly girls dancers in the back. Like, SWV is that type of vibe. Like, their music represented what was happening in the culture in terms of edgy, in terms of, Coco just not like a princess diva, but just like a edgy street. Like, they were just amazing. Let's just put it what it is, right? And Xscape, it was like a newer version of the girl groups from back in the day, just newer, right? They weren't trying to fit like a certain mold. They were uniquely being themselves, and it was just different, right? Like, it was just different. Like, music had changed, and like these groups really kind of signify it, right? So they deserve all the roses, all of everything. I think SWU has 5 albums that they put out, sold over 30 million copies, 30 million albums. SWV put out 5 albums and sold over 30 million. Xscape has 3 albums, and I think they sold around like 9 million worldwide, right? They're all currently touring. They're all doing well. Everybody eating, right? Everybody's eating at this point in the game because they're legends. Like, and when you talk about quality of being able to sing, off the hook. The other night, I stayed up and was just in a mood to listen to some music, and I pulled up SWV. And it was so funny, like, they're now like in their 50s, but it was so funny when it came to listening to their music, I gravitated more towards the music that they've put out in the last 10 years, right? Of course, I mean, because it's more mature. But it's still really, really good. Like, I don't know. I just think that I Missed Us album that SW put out. I think that was overlooked. That album is amazing. And they just still put out quality work. I'm not quite sure why Xscape doesn't put out albums, and stuff like that, because they can still really sing. But I think, they need new music, to be completely honest. Same way that SWV put out. Because it was just really good. And I just think I want to see that from Xscape. All right. So they have this show. They're filming, and so the concept of the show is that they're coming together to potentially go on tour, right? The two groups to go on tour, headline a tour together, We seen them perform in the past on Versus, and we loved it, right? I think they say SWV won that one. But I remember when I watched Versus, I thought Xscape, it was the first Versus. If you remember how Versus started, where people were either in the studio or both parties were sitting down and playing their songs, and halfway kind of singing, the parts that they wanted to and stuff like that. And that was Versus. The Xscape and SWV Versus was the first Versus that we seen that it became Xscape and Friends and full blown performances, and it was like in this big place, and it was a concert. It was the first time it got switched to a concert. I did feel that during that Versus that SWV traditionally was like, no, SWV was trying to, because they have a lot of features. They have people they can call. Like it would have been nothing for that, but it was like they showed up in essence thinking it was going to be like it was previously in all the other verses, and not like a concert versus type of situation. But anyway, that's what ended up happening. But it's just people say, SWV won, and so I'm gonna go with that one. So all right, so listen. Now we're gonna talk about Tamar and Kandi, right? So this is so interesting. I guess a couple months back, there is a post where Tamar had put out there that somebody who was a Bravo Real Housewife tried to fight her. Like her and her husband tried to fight her, right? Nobody knew who she was talking about at the time. So she recently went on watch what's happening live with Andy Cohen, and the question came up. Like someone from the audience asked the question. Now, just to remind you, I don't necessarily feel like I would believe in that these questions be coming from the audience, but whatever. Someone from the audience asked the question about like what was that about and who was that about. So people who were there, Andy and I don't know who the other person who was the guest when Tamar was there, started to guess who they thought it was, because the way it was phrased, it was like, oh, you would never guess who which wife from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and her city official husband just threatened me. Like, so for people guessing on who it is, people thought it was Eva Marcel and her husband Mike, I think his name is, I'm really not sure, and all this is allegedly. So people guessed, and it was no to Eva. And the last guess was done by Andy, because at this point nobody could think of who it could be, because when we think of Kandi, we necessarily don't think of her just like rolling up unhinged trying to fight people, right? And from the story that Tamar, kind of told, it kind of seemed like, okay, it was out of nowhere. I didn't expect that. Kind of, it was an unhinged, retelling of the story. All right, so Andy guessed and said, "Hey, are you talking about Kandi?" And then she took a drink of she sipped her drink all dramatically to let everybody know that's who it was, right? And so that's how we got to where we're at now. All right, I'm trying to think what else. So, no, I got to tell you why Tamar alleges that Kandi tried to fight her because of I think a Dish Network or some show she was on. There was a situation between Carlos King, who is an ex-producer from Real Housewives of Atlanta, who was trying to shop around Xscape, which is Kandi's musical group, their lifetime story. Like he was trying to make this like this unauthorized version of their life story, and make a movie out of it. Kandi found out, confronted him, and all this other stuff. So it got leaked to the media, and people started, trying to, say Carlos was grimy. How could you do something like that? You had worked with her. Why you didn't go to her with the idea to try to work with them? Why would you try to go behind their back? So, people didn't have any real answers. It was just out there that this had happened. So when Tamar got asked about it, she was just like, I don't know. I don't know all the information. I would just have to see, I don't know if that's true. We'll just have to wait and see. So allegedly, Kandi felt like Tamar was trying to call her a liar about that. And so when Tamar told the story, when Tamar told the story, she made it seem like it was because of what she said on the show. But eventually what ends up coming out is that Kandi says no, it's about the post that she posted on her Instagram that basically flat out came out and said, folks ain't got to be lying or something, to make money or some shit she said that kind of most definitely insinuated that, Kandi is not telling the truth, right? It was a more of aggressive tone than the original one that she took on the show when she was asked about. More aggressive, more assertive, more, she was just implying more for what she said on her Instagram live, right? So that's how we get to Kandi wanting to see her, like, because you ain't gonna be calling me a liar out here. All right, I hope that was a good breakdown. That was 9 minutes and 51 seconds. I hope that was a good breakdown. So we're gonna pick up on the drama that has been unfolding outside of what's been happening on camera. Okay, this is not even like the actual show. This is like the bullshit like in social media. All right, we start with Tamar going off on Toddina. That's what she nicknamed Toddina. All right, here we go.
For a man to ever step to me. Period. Why you shaking your head?
Nothing. You ain't do shit for no man to step to you. That was a coward move. And it shouldn't have happened. And I addressed it with him and I spoke to him about it. And he immediately apologized. But an apology after the fact is bullshit.
Especially when I'm there defensive.
Yes, JR.
This is one of those trips. Here we are. But what I'm not going to stand for is people saying, what did I do for a man to ever step to me? Period.
All right, so the headline reads, oops, Tamar details her verbal altercation with Kandi Burrs and Todd Tucker. Claims Kandi was upset Tamar took sides with Carlos King after Kandi accused him of stealing her life story. Ooh, JR, he was like, ain't no reason for no man to step. That's a coward move. Ain't no sorry after the fact. Now, that's my type of shit. Talk that shit. All right, so you hear what Tamar had to say. Let me see where we're gonna take this. So this is a picture that Tamar ended up posting to let you know this is her man JR, right? Talking to little Toddina about the situation, where he offered an apology or explanation about the situation, like between supposedly of Todd trying to, say something to Tamar. I totally agree with Tamar in the sense of like, if two females are talking, I wish more men just mind your business and shut up. There's no reason for you to address another woman if your woman is already addressing her, right? I think that's some bitch shit. And if you get disrespected, everyone's going to be like, oh, you don't talk to a man like that. But at the same time, a man has to stay in his place like a man, right? There's no reason why you should want to go back and forth with women about women's business. Let me see something. So that's the picture. And so then Tamar ended up, posting this picture, and she said, I'm done talking about it. Obviously, it happened. Kandi wants to deflect and condone her man's behavior by calling me a victim, shaking my head. It's abusive and disrespectful, and it's never okay for a man to step to a woman. Fans don't have to agree, period. Everyone have a nice day. God is so good. Watch Queen's Court and stream my new song, Change. P.S. I spy with me a little eye, the truth. So basically, she's just saying, like, y'all can see for yourself. My man said something to me. I don't know if y'all know about her man. Her man is an ex-vet. He done did some time. He got a little edge about him. So I don't think he no punk. I don't think he no punk. He remember me that one of them white boys. I'm from Boston. Like, we got Saudi white boys that will give it up too. Like, so, he don't look like no punk. That's all I'm saying. And so then Tamar felt some sort of way because Kandi came out and said that she's always trying to play victim, woe is me, in every situation. I honestly think, and I'm going to be completely honest, I know people be in cliques and be having friends and they be having problems with you because of the people they're associated with. I personally, this is just my personal opinion, I think Kandi has never really liked Tamar. And I think, she tolerates. I think she's going to be nice because she's never directly did anything to her. But when I went back and looked at some of the Big Brother, I seen a couple of Big Brother clips, and Kandi is a really nice person generally with everybody else, but you could just tell she was very reserved and very not open to Tamar on Big Brother. I think it's because of, that circle of friends that is the Toya, that is the, I just think it's because the circle of friends may just not like Tamar That's just my honest opinion. I just think that's what it is, that circle, because there's so much that has happened, and Tamar has felt some sort of way about certain things, like people going on her ex show. She's spoken out, against a few people I think that Tamar is associated with. So I think, I'm sorry, that Kandi's associated with, because I just don't think that she really cares for the girl. um, Oh, so she called her a victim. And so Tamar said this: I am the victim when your man steps to a woman. Sounds like an abused woman to me. To see nothing wrong with that. I hope he's not beating your ass. I pray for healing. I hate when a motherfucker say some shady like shit and then I pray for you. Like, cause like, oh, so you think I'm not gonna come back to you or say something else like low down because you mentioned pray? Oh, you got me all the way fucked up. So it says here, oop, Tamar wasn't lying about confronting Todd about the situation. Here's a picture of them talking after the verbal altercation. Someone says exactly what I just said. Tamar man is an ex-Marine from NOLA. He definitely confronted him, and I believe everything she's saying. 4,509 likes. Does the pic have audio? Because it proves nothing. All parties involved need to grow up. Senior citizens gone wild. Tamar trying to sell this relationship in single. Kandi about to sue. A mess. I have no idea why some of you think because we may be like either 5 years or 10 years in difference in age that you have this level of expectation of what you think how people respond to stuff is so much more different than you, right? I'm not quite sure at what age I'm going to be at where someone could disrespect me, be rude to me, say whatever they want to me, or maybe a man be in my face and I be okay with it and I don't call it out and cuss a motherfucker out. I don't know what age that happens at. And when that get to that age, I'll let y'all know. I never knew I could get to this place where I would let somebody do all these things to me and I would not react in the appropriate way, right? So what I'm basically trying to tell you, let's be reasonable about our expectations in terms of like what we think people older than us respond to, with knowing, we have, as you get older, you do get patience, right? But just understand, just like you, when those patience run out, motherfucker, it done ran out. What the fuck you talking about? I don't know what age that happens at, but baby, I hope to be here. I hope to get there. I want to get there. That's all I'm saying. All right, so there's more. There's more because it didn't stop. It really did not stop. So then that led to. Okay. Of course, it was meme city all over Twitter. Okay, so then that led to Akbar V, who is Kandi's cousin, jumping in, and it just got really crazy. There was just shots taken, and then SWV entered the chat in terms of getting on social media and having words to say, and so it says here because everybody started to kind of come at Kandi, because Kandi went and pulled up receipts and was trying to say, do her speak on it. What I don't like that Kandi does is like you say what you want to say. You've been entertaining this in and out when you feel like it, right? And I know you want to paint the picture as though, oh, people told me I should not respond to this drama, but you started some of this. You entertained it in the beginning, right? Don't start no shit, won't be no shit. And you most definitely helped started this shit and then try to pull out and be like, I'm over here doing me and not even responding. No, bitch, don't open up nothing. Don't open up nothing, then try to walk off all like a smooth criminal on it. No. So it says here, Akbar calls. Okay, if you don't know who Akbar is, she's a rapper from out of Atlanta. She was on Those People Loving Hip Hop Atlanta, but she's also cousins to Kandi. Now, if you also don't know, Kandi and Akbar and them are from them people's Cleveland Ave area in terms of like where Young Thug is and who Akbar is associated with. And if you go to her page, she's always talking about free Young Thug, right? So they come from they come from the hood, okay? So Akbar's really about that life. Used to be down with the niggas. I'm not quite sure how that goes. I just know that she said she was really in them streets. So Akbar calls out Tamar Braxton and Lily Lyons over drama surrounding Kandi Burris. Y'all about to stop playing with my cousin. She the most paid. If you don't know what she the most paid is, that's nigga talk. Because every time you gonna get into an argument with a nigga and they're gonna be on some nigga shit and they're gonna try to remind you about their status and how much money they got. Because for them, that is what makes them solid. And I guess you ain't saying nothing. I got more money than you, right? Like, it's really crazy. To even see it on Clubhouse sometime is really crazy, because we're in an audio app and we're sharing our ideas and having discussions about things in the world. And when someone just comes out and it's like, niggas ain't got money, sort of like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? It's so fucking ignorant. Anyway, but here we go. So Akbar goes by the name Female Kanye on the Twitter. She says, I've been chilling, but y'all about to stop playing with my cousin, and that's just that. We forget she the most paid. Also at Tamar Braxton, her at Lily Lyons, hashtag Coco SWV. Like, what the fuck did that have to do with anything? And so this person said, so the caption was on Neighborhood Talk, and it said, oop, looked like Akbar had a couple of words for Tamar and Lily about her cousin Kandi. Neighbors, y'all feel her? And so this gentleman said, Mr. David says, what money got to do with anything? A nigga ain't got nothing to say, can't make his point. They start talking about, but I'm doing all right. And it gets crazy. All right, and so then Tamar Braxton said at Mr. L. Davis, she goes, oh, yeah, because we all got a cute coin. And in my situation, my man has his own without my name or business. That's the comment right there. That's the and Neighborhood Talk ain't shit, because they gonna put you see they got Tardina's face right there. They ain't shit, y'all. When I tell you these people ain't shit, they ain't shit. So the Neighborhood Talk says, what in the mama Joyce? Tamar dropped the neighborhood, dropped by the neighborhood and threw Todd a whole tree. Now when Todd go off on her, he gonna be wrong someone, right? Why everybody act like Todd is broke? Todd was a producer when they met. Am I missing something? I mean, what's a producer? And you're talking about people who are like millionaires, though, right? I don't know if you think that they're making millions as a producer. They're not, though. I like how Carlos is staying silent as Tamar is dragging this on. Don't ever over defend someone, especially when they aren't even speaking out themselves. It's giving embarrassing. I don't know how she came to this conclusion. She's not overly defending Carlos King. She was asked a question on the show and she answered it, and someone's mad about an answer. So I'm not quite sure how this person derived to this conclusion. That's weird. How is it okay to keep downing Todd for getting a woman who had more money than him, but he continues to add value and money to their relationship? That's a horrible narrative. I agree. I totally agree with that. But at the end of the day, but I also know, like, when you going back and forth with somebody, you gotta understand, like, anything about you is going to be food. They're gonna eat. Like, it's going to be thrown back in your face. So as much as it's wrong, I get it, right? Tamar, Tamar, you just met that man yesterday. He got 4 baby mamas. That man is not a flex. Ooh, she talking about her white man, JR. Yeah, girl. I heard he be like, from what I seen on them people, YouTube, allegedly, that he be out in these streets. He for the streets, and he be looking for him chocolate at night and stuff in these clubs. That's just what I heard right here, allegedly. Tamar been trying to act innocent throughout this whole situation, but we all know your attitude and how you really be acting. How do we know? We know what we see on the damn show. That's what we know. Motherfuckers get 5 minutes glimpse at you, and they just know you from head to toe. Ooh. Tamar, you've been with that guy for about 3 weeks. Stop it. And Todd made a name in business for himself no matter how he got it. Now it seems like you've been hating on Kandi, calling her names, etc. I don't understand. People, for me, don't talk like in reality. You hopped in my face all big and bad, Billy Bad Goat. It is what it is. Y'all really keep playing this man. Todd was making high 6 figures being an industry producer slash director. He did not need Kandi. He has his own accomplishments and money. That's not true. He wasn't making 6 figures. My thing is, why would Akbar even bring up money? Because you literally don't compare to anyone involved. On the other note, you want to jump into everyone's mess, but then when people return the favor and bring up deadbeat mama claims, she want to cry. All right, people are funny as fuck. Let me see if I have any more clips to do with Tamar. And they got gutter because here go Tamar. it's Women's History Month, and I want to take a moment to show love to the incredible official SWV. The impact you ladies have had on the industry is amazing. You guys have inspired so many of us. I've been a fan, and I'm still a fan, and I'm honored to have sampled you all on my new single, Change. Whew, y'all, and this is shady because this is all while now SWV and Xscape started going back and forth on social media. I'm gonna do another video about that. They started going back and forth on social media about who, headlining, and Xscape thinking that SWV should no Xscape thinking that they should be the headliners, and SWV should like open for them, and they don't like SWV is not hearing that. Like, we came to the situation, we both co-headliners, and that's what everyone is thinking watching the show. Like, why can't they both be co-headliners? And then it's just gotten crazy. So this is going on between the two groups. Tamar's having her beef with Kandi. So she decides to post, and this probably is an older picture of her with the SWV girls, acknowledging them and shouting them out. Now, at the same time, we're not going to talk about it in this video, but at the same time, Latasha is beefing with Kandi because we're having like this everybody want to be the lead singer debate that's been going on for the past 30 years. Like, this shit's crazy. So they're still beefing about that. So Latasha is not performing with her group. We're watching the show. There's drama in between the show. It's been alleged that her and her disgusting ass husband out in these streets, Dirty Dick Raw, and all these females coming up with kids and all types of shit allegedly. All of this is coming out while this is going on. So she's beefing with her group, Xscape, Tasha. Xscape is beefing with SWV. Kandi's beefing with Tamar. So when Tamar goes ahead and posts this picture, it's just shady all around. Latasha add her shadiness in it because, like I said, she's beefing with her group. She goes, "Where y'all at? I'm on my way," as if though the ops are, linked up. As if though she done got with the ops. She done got with the ops that's beefing with her group. This shit is crazy. And then I find out from another YouTuber, Latasha and Tamar are really close friends. When I tell you people be having, they be having bitterness and anger for you because of their friends. I'm telling you, something was off when they were on Big Brother. Like, they did not see it for each other. It just wasn't, I don't know. It just didn't feel like, you can tell they did not really care. Like, they had backstory on each other that kept them, like, really kind of probably why they butt heads on Big Brother. But yeah, y'all, it's going down. So let's see what these comments say. I'm going to get on out of here. We still trying to figure out, if y'all don't know, Tasha and her husband is accused of stealing $30,000 from her sister in forms of some type of royalty checks. The sister then came out on the show like, "Yo, you stole from me." Their mama janky, just janky. Let me just call it what it is. Not going to disrespect her, but I just janky, okay? So here we go. I mean, there's so much, y'all. Tamar posted a photo with SWV and Latasha Scott. Was ready to pull up. Someone says Tasha needs to be on her way to the bank to pay back her sister, because that's how we all feel. Fuck what you talking about, Tasha. If y'all up now, it is what it is. Go pay your sister her money. Where is Tamika money, sis? That's everybody. That's all anybody cares about. Latasha needs to find out why her sis check was cashed in her hubby business account and not in her sister's account, and stop trying to be relevant in other folks' mess, okay? And the other thing is, y'all want Tasha to open her eyes and wake up to her husband. Sometimes y'all gotta realize people are with each other because they align, right? For me, this is a husband and wife that decided to take this money. This ain't no Tasha wake up. Y'all niggas is crazy. She knew these checks was coming in the mail. This is no Tasha wake up. Right? So I think y'all need to stop being naive and thinking that this woman's in a situation where she may not be his Bonnie to his Clyde. But that's what this seems like to me. She knew damn well that her husband took those checks. And for him to even have the excuse that he has, yeah, they have a reason on why they felt like this shit was okay. It says here, how Latasha on the way? Did she get permission from Rocky first? Oh, damn. SWV and Xscape should have never did that show. Everybody was all good before then. I want them to do another one. This show has been so good, y'all. I hope there's a season 2. And if they do a season 2, I think the show should be like so deaf. like making a collab album like So Def, and so you bring on Jermaine Dupri. I don't give a fuck even the album even gets made. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't even care. But this is what I want next season. You bring back both groups. Yeah. Both groups. And it's a So Def collab album featuring SWV, right? So you bring back both groups. You bring Jermaine Dupri on, right? And then you bring the other members of So Def on. So then we're gonna have DeBrat and Judy. Yeah. Because nobody thought DeBrat would be having a baby, because we need to see that too. So you bring on DeBrat and Judy, and then you bring on Little Bow Wow, because Little Bow Wow and Little Bow Wow and Jermaine, they got issues. For some reason, Little Bow Wow seems to blame Jermaine for his whole life. But anyway, so you bring that on. I just think that would be a dope show. I just really do. So that's my suggestions for a show for next season. But both ladies in both groups are saying that they're not coming back, and so that, if we can't get them back, we gotta get an In Vogue show. Something is happening that we don't know about. Like, as if this situation with Xscape and what was been going on between them has been this juicy, just think about what happened between Dawn and Terry and them, because they can't even be in the same room or some shit. So I want to see what happened with In Vogue. That was one of my favorite groups too, and just all of a sudden they can't be around each other. Oh man, I want to see why though. Like, maybe we can help them, maybe Black Twitter can help bring it out and figure it out. All right, that's all I got for this video. Y'all be blessed SF, y'all be black SF, y'all be bougie SF, y'all be posh SF, and y'all be black, y'all. And I am out. And don't you forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.